Hello, I'm Ken Carpenter, and this is Invest AI Savvy, where AI powers smart investing. Today is March 16th, 2026, and we're walking into a week shaped by geopolitics in a way we haven't seen in a while. The Strait of Hormuz crisis is in front and center. Crude oil is hovering near $98 a barrel after briefly punching through 100. The Trump administration is struggling to build an international coalition to escort tankers through the strait, and so far, no takers. Despite that tension, S&P 500 futures are up 0.6% this morning. NASDAQ futures are up 0.7, and a 10-year Treasury yield has dipped to 4.26. Gold pulled back about 1.5% after its recent run. The Wall Street Journal is focused on Canadian oil sands producers as beneficiaries of a supply shock, and our BuzzPulse data confirms the energy narrative is bleeding into social sentiment across multiple tickers. But here's the key insight from BuzzPulse this morning. Collective sentiment across the top 20 assets sits at just positive 0.208. That is tepid. No explosive surge alerts fired, no A-plus conviction setups triggered. This is a fragmented, news-driven tape, not a clean directional move. So let's focus on the three signals that actually matter. The single most important equity signal today is Meta. It is printing a Z-score of 6.9, and I want to use that number to teach you something. A Z-score measures how far above normal a stock's social discussion volume is compared to its 30-day average. Anything above 4.0 we classify as explosive. Meta at 6.9 means social chatter is nearly 7 standard deviations above its recent baseline. That is extraordinary. But here's the twist. Meta's price dropped 3.8% in the last 24 hours, and sentiment reads negative at minus 0.04. Reports point to a delayed AI model announcement and layoffs contributing to a 10% two-day decline. So you have peak social attention colliding with a falling price and negative sentiment. That's what we call a buzz price divergence, and it's one of the most valuable signals in our toolkit because it forces you to ask a critical question. Is this the crowd capitulating or quietly accumulating? We do not have the answer yet, but that divergence makes Meta the number one name to watch for a potential setup confirmation in the next 24 to 48 hours. The second signal worth your attention is Apple. BuzzPulse flagged it as the only early mover setup in this entire run. It carries a Z-score of 1.7 with a product narrative tag, positive sentiment of plus 0.20, and a price decline of 2.2%. The early mover classification means the system is detecting accumulating social interest ahead of potential product catalysts before the broader market catches on. When you see positive sentiment holding firm while price dips on a product narrative, that's a kind of asymmetric signal structure that rewards patience. It's not screaming at you, it's whispering. And sometimes whispers matter more than shouts. Now, the third signal takes us directly to crude oil and the energy complex. CL, the crude oil continuous contract, is surging with a Z-score of 3.29 and positive sentiment of plus 0.49. USO, the oil ETF, shows elevated buzz at 1.66 with 54 mentions across the three separate sources, including GDELT, NewsAPI, and StockTwits. That source diversity matters. When attention comes from multiple independent channels rather than a single platform, it tells us the narrative has genuine breadth. The Hormuz crisis is real, the supply concern is real, and social sentiment is confirming what price already reflects. Let's shift to crypto. LunarCrush data is flashing coordinated social acceleration across the board. Solana leads with a Galaxy score of 78 and an AltRank of 44. Strong community interest building with confirmed momentum as it trades through $92 on short liquidations. Litecoin prints a Galaxy score of 75 with an AltRank of 109, showing sustained social engagement that is independently confirmed by our BuzzPulse surge alerts, where it appears with elevated buzz and LunarCrush verification. Cardano rounds out the top three with a Galaxy score of 73 and a remarkable alt rank of just 10, meaning it ranks in the top 10 across all crypto for social momentum relative to market cap. When alt rank improves this broadly and this fast across multiple tokens in a single session, LunarCrush history tells us a macro crypto narrative is forming underneath the surface even before price fully confirms it. Coming back to that meta divergence, 7 names landed on the divergence list today, including gold and LMT, which is notable given the geopolitical backdrop. But Meta's 6.9 Z-score against negative price action is the cleanest and most actionable divergence signal in today's data. If sentiment flips positive while volume stays elevated, that would shift the classification from divergence watch to potential accumulation setup. The one thing to watch tomorrow is whether crude oil holds above $95 while social sentiment stays positive across energy names. If that combination persists alongside the Hormuz headlines, energy could shift from a fragmented attention grab into a confirmed directional trade. Until tomorrow, I'm Ken Carpenter. This is Invest AI Savvy, and that's the way it is.